You guys want to help move some fish tanks? Let's take this guy out to the garden. That's too bad. It's just the whole thing's got to get taken apart. Well, I think it's time that we move some more tanks. So we got these two. We come over to the now empty room. It's so sad. We got these two, which we're not going to be doing today, but then we have these two here. I gotta top these two off before we leave, but like I said, we're not gonna be doing anything here with the desert tank or the jungle tank, but we are gonna move, and I'm gonna move quickly. We are gonna move the Fortnite tank and the pufferfish tank. Maybe, wait, no, we're gonna move the fish at least, okay? Because at least with the pufferfish tank, that's a big tank, and I wanna get all the fish to the new place in their holding tanks before we start to do anything else. Okay, it's just going to be a lot easier for me, less stressful if we just deal with the fish now, and then we can just deal with the tanks. Alright, so we're going to back up a ton of fish, starting with the peacocks, and then we're going to head over here, and we're going to bag up the neon tetras, and then we'll grab our rainbow endlers. Come on, dude. This is going to be impossible to do one-handed. Gotcha! We got a few more to go, but ugh, this tank just did not agree with what I wanted it to agree to do. Okay, like, it's just, I don't know. We'll fix it though, we'll fix it, alright? Don't worry. I got a bucket down here below me that we can put all this stuff into. There's no way we'd be able to move this tank with all this dragonstone in it. I mean, it's not even a lot of dragonstone, it's just completely waterlogged, super heavy. And again, this tank is a complete redo. Alright, I don't even think that we're going to put the peacocks back in it when we get this tank to the new place. But we definitely got to move this hardscape so we can get these remaining fish. One more big piece. Try not to drip on the carpet. Get that in there. We'll deal with those pieces later. Still some really good pieces of dragonstone though. We can definitely, we're 100% going to reuse these. We'll take the moss off and do something else with them though. Woo! This tank has seen better days. Peacocks in the bag. We'll just set this right in here for now. That actually might not be a bad travel spot for them too. We'll see though. Drain the tank, take all the stuff off, and load it up in the car. We're going to keep the substrate. Okay, this is that Monterey beach sand that I love to use, and I don't even know if you can buy this stuff anymore. So we got to keep every little grain of it that we have, and yes, we are going to keep the duck. Okay, so that tank's super easy to pick up. I mean, not a big deal. And then we got our bucket of our fish and our hardscape stuff and our filter, and then we're just going to throw it all in the car with the stand, of course. This is a pretty cool little setup. I like it a lot. Quick tip of the day, if you don't have a breeder box handy to hold your bag that you're going to put your fish into, just go buy a tripod and use that as the holder. I threw a moss ball down in there. There's some shrimp in there as well. I think they'll be just fine, but this tank is, whoa, cleared out and ready to go. Now, guys, the hair grass in here has algae all over it. Okay, now, we don't have to get rid of this. I'm getting rid of the substrate just because the akadama is super old, but this hair grass, I don't want to get rid of it. It is covered in algae, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull it out, we're going to put it into some Tupperware tubs, and we're just going to grow it immersed. It'll kill all the algae in not that long, couple weeks probably. It'll be probably dead before then, but it'll be looking really good in a couple of weeks, and then we'll be able to transplant it back into a new tank. So there's another tip for you. I already got the tetras all ready to go. What is that, a shrimp? Oh no, it's just a snail. I'm seeing things, guys. It's super hot. I'm dying. We're gonna drain this tank, load it up, and then throw some other stuff on top of it and head over to the new place. But now let's work on catching these fish. This should be fun. Where's my net? Probably shouldn't use that big one. Let's grab this little guy over here. And just doing this to make it look like I'm catching fish. I had this whole thing planned out where I was gonna get all the fish out and then be like, oh hey guys, look, I got them all out in one swipe of the net. But then I realized there's no way I'm gonna be able to get these fish out without taking the hardscape out of this tank. I thought of a couple different ways to go about this. I thought maybe, hey, to preserve it, let's get in here with some water weld putty and let's fix everything together, just punch that stuff in between all the rocks and then lift them out. But then I remember that we have all this PVC in here as well, and I don't know. We're never going to be able to get this part, you know, exactly the way it is now, and there's no way we can leave the sand in this tank because there's so much sand in it. The tank is already heavy enough with nothing in it. It's just the whole thing's got to get taken apart, which is really hard for me because this was like my favorite tank for about 2 months, and now we're to this point. But guys, I mean, I want to say I'm excited, but I'm like, this is so painful for me to have to do right now. Oh gosh. Okay, I just got to do it. We're gonna take some pictures of some weird angles to try and remember where things were. I already have a lot of pictures of the tank just when it was normally, you know, when it was looking good from the front and stuff like that. And we'll do our best when we get to the new place to kind of get it back to as close to this as possible, and then obviously do a better job with our Monte Carlo in it. But I'm gonna have to do it, guys. I already got a bucket down below me. That was not as dramatic as I thought it would be. There it goes. Oh, this is tough. All right, so I got fish and I got left waterfall, right waterfall. So when we go and try and rebuild it, at least we know that these rocks go to the left and these go to the right. So hopefully that helps. This bucket's just leftover garbage. I'm not messing with the tank tonight. I'm burned out. So we're gonna take this stuff and that stuff and the stuff over there, and we're gonna go. Okay? It's crazy over here. I can't take it anymore. We made it. Everybody looks good. Can't see those guys. Who else do we have? Where'd those guys go? Right here. Looking good. Down to the lair we go. You guys want to help move some fish tanks? No? Okay. Alright guys, we're back. Check it out. We got our fish all bagged up, ready to get unbagged and into their little holding tank. Alright, an extra 20 long that I have. You can see we got it set up here with just a little temporary light and a filter from the old place. So it's a cycled filter all ready to go. I threw in some red root floaters just so they would, I don't know, appreciate it, have a little bit of cover. And they have this nice mural in the background that they get to enjoy. So they should be pretty happy. Let's go ahead and let's grab these guys out. Let's start with the, what are these? Let's start here with the rainbow endlers and the few shrimp that we had in here. I'm gonna just put them in here. The temperature is exactly the same, and again our water parameters are very similar, almost identical. So there shouldn't be any discomfort in going into this new tank. I'm not concerned about the water from the old place getting in here either. So let's just go ahead and pour them in here. Make sure we got them all out of the bag there. There's bag number 1. Bag number 2 is going to be the peacocks. Let's get these guys in here. If I had all of my stuff here with me, I'd probably strain out the water, but it's okay. We'll try and, this one had a little bit of algae in it, but we'll try and keep most of that in there. I think we did a pretty good job. And last but not least, our big bag of tetras. Dun dun dun. There's a lot of them in here. I think we're gonna be okay though. There's a little bit of sand on there. That's good. They got a little bit of substrate. And of course a bunch of leftover Monte Carlo bits. That's okay. Let's get these guys in here. Look at them all. Freaking out, man. Looks like we have one casualty. I don't know if this was a fish that died like in the interim of moving them. Let's take a look at this guy. He looks like he's pretty decomposed. I think this was a fish that was stuck in the prison that we fished out that I just didn't notice when we were getting him out. So let's take this guy out to the garden. That's too bad. Jeez, if I can catch him. That's too bad. Again, the goal is to have these guys in here for the least amount of time as possible, but you know, as far as planning out when the tanks for each fish is going to be specifically done, I don't really know. I mean, moving always makes things more complicated. I still have a bunch of tanks left over at the house that we have to go get tomorrow, and I don't know. It's tough to manage it all, but we're getting there. It will be kind of interesting to see how these shrimp do with the peacocks. I mean, these are big neos, so they're kind of like, you know, they could take a bully or two. I think they're going to be okay, but it'll be kind of interesting to see. But yeah, like this, again, obviously isn't a permanent situation, but it's something that we'll have to do for, you know, a couple of weeks probably. Anyway, guys, I think that's going to do it for part 2 of moving. Thank you for coming along with me and watching me pull out a bunch of fish and just put them into another tank. I know it might not be the most exciting thing, but I know some of you guys are into it. So thanks to those who are taking part in following this process. I hope maybe you're learning at least 1 or 2 things new, or you're just having fun watching me struggle. You know, I don't know what's gonna happen, but tomorrow's gonna be another long day. I'm gonna bring the camera again, and we're gonna make some more progress. So be sure to be on the lookout for that video when it comes out. Not sure, probably a couple days after this one is posted. So make sure you're subbed and you have notifications on, so you know when that comes out. Also, got that new AP shirt on, so you know those are also available as well if you want to help support the move and help me to get back on my feet a little bit faster. Thanks again so much, guys, and we'll see you next time.